In this video, we spotlight Kimberly Lee, a former trial attorney turned creative coach and retreat leader who combines intuitive collage, journaling, and reflection to help you uncover your inner truth. These retreats encourage you to pause, have fun, and listen to yourself as you reconnect with your creative side. You'll discover new insights and inspiration. Let's explore what SoulCollage offers and how it helps you connect more deeply with yourself.
A Soul Collage retreat is a wonderful chance to get in touch with yourself. It's an opportunity for self-discovery and self-awareness. And it uses three things: intuition, images, and imagination to help you explore that inner wisdom that we all have, that positive inner core that is within us. And so it's a process where we use images, putting them intuitively together on cards through a very gentle process that I guide folks through, and then interpreting those collages and seeing what meaning there is for them.
The SoulCollage method builds on Carl Jung's ideas and combines expressive arts, mindful writing, and self-reflection. This approach helps you move beyond overthinking and find your flow.
What we do when we are creating the collages intuitively, we're choosing images that are calling to us, that resonate with us. So we don't necessarily go in with a particular color palette or particular theme, but I invite people to just choose what you find striking, what the eye lands on. And then I guide us through the process of creating the collage and interpreting the collage. And what people find is their collages have a message for them, a story for them, a reminder, sometimes a directive, some aspect of inner wisdom that helps them understand and celebrate their strengths and bolsters them. And so the classic prompt, the one that we start with once we created our collage, is I am one who. And so in that, you're creating your own affirmations, which is really better than any book of affirmations that you could buy, because they are coming from within. They're by you, for you, from you. You have a visual representation of that through this powerful collage, and then this written, reflective writing that came from it.
This hands-on process helps you observe more closely, remember better, and understand your emotions. It also helps you connect more deeply with your thoughts and feelings.
And I do have one here that I can show you. So this is about the size of it. It's about a 5x8. So not a ton of images, but they can be very powerful, very simple. I'll show you another one here. Sure, go to the middle of it. And then I'll show you another one because they can also have this orientation as well. And so they are cards that you can eventually, and what we do in the week-long retreats is we will make a dozen over the course of 5 days. So you're beginning to make a deck of cards.
Unlike tarot or other symbolic systems, only you interpret your cards. You hold them, ask meaningful questions, and turn them over one at a time, listening to the answers that come from within.
It's a practice like yoga or meditation, something restorative that you can continue to do, because each time you approach the process, you are feeling a different way. You're at a different place in your life, in your day, in your week. So each collage is going to be different, and you're going to select different images, and something different will arise from it in the reflective writing. And they're just so individual, as you can see. So they are like fingerprints or snowflakes. You're making your own card, and they are different, and they are coming from within you. So that makes it really powerful. And what I find is people, while they are creating the cards and I get them going with the process, they are able to return to kind of perhaps the playful spirit that they had in childhood, where they just created without concern for being evaluated or assessed or judged or liked or loved on social media. And they can just really kind of get into that flow. And that's when really the magic happens.
When you choose images and make a collage from those that catch your attention, then look at the finished piece, you get a visual picture of your subconscious. It's like your inner world is showing itself on the outside. Using images instead of words helps you reach a different, possibly deeper part of your mind. Seeing your finished collage lets you recognize something inside you that wants to be seen and understood.
actually are stepping into the world of the collage. So instead of trying to talk about it, you've created this beautiful world. And so then you step into the perspective of this woman here and speak from her perspective. So you're able to kind of get out of logically, well, there's a woman and she looks like she's doing this, and you step into it and you become it. Or a week-long immersion of listening to that voice, you've strengthened that muscle and are ready to go forward and really give it the credibility it deserves once you get back out into the world. Now they are really stepping fully into who they are and maybe their purpose as well.
This isn't an art class, it's open to everyone. You don't need any art or writing experience, just curiosity and a willingness to try something new.
Well, I actually believe that everyone is creative. Maybe you might not label it as such, but this is such a gentle process, and it is designed to not require any background in art or even writing or journaling at all. Everyone really finds something in this process and is often amazed with what they create. But what I do find often, one group that I see quite a bit, especially at my week-long retreats, are people who operate in corporate spaces, government level jobs, high pressure situations of some sort. Even working from home, they still may have a high pressure, high stakes position, and they are looking to explore their creative side. And so what I have found is they often will choose my retreats because I'm an attorney and they know that I understand kind of the pressure situations and interactions that they have to deal with. So they know that I'm going to provide something that is exactly what they're looking for to kind of step away from their normal routine.
Kimberly Lee, JD, is a writer, editor, and creativity coach who helps people reconnect with their inner wisdom through expressive arts and writing. She graduated from Stanford and UC Davis Law, then chose to leave law and follow creativity as a way to find clarity and healing.
So I was a trial attorney in downtown Los Angeles. When I was talking with my client, behind the scenes, I was a counselor, a confidant, a companion, a compassionate advocate. And that is the style that I bring to these workshops.
She has led workshops at Esalen, Omega, Hollyhock, the Huntington, and for many corporate and nonprofit groups. Her style combines psychological insight and artistic freedom to create experiences that are restorative, inspiring, and easy to join.
I fell in love with this process during a writing workshop that I was taking. It was a grief writing workshop after the loss of my father. I fell in love with it because it helped me through that loss. And I did a deep dive and eventually became a facilitator so that I could share it with others. And so it is now my personal practice. It's my part of my creative process as a writer. And it's something that I love seeing when other people take to it, enjoy it, and come out with a feeling of pride for what they've created and what they've learned about themselves.
Kimberly designs her retreats to offer a mindful and supportive space.
Well, first of all, it's going to be a very relaxed experience. And so I always have kind of an ambiance that's set up, some lo-fi chill music that's going on. And so when you step in, it is immediately kind of a cocoon away from your normal routine and cares and concerns. And I guide everyone through this process to look through tons of visual images to choose as we get ready to make our collage. I always supplement the collage process with mindfulness opportunities. So depending on the location, we will go take a nature walk. There's guided meditation, guided imagery and visualization, as well as opportunities to be in small groups where you don't feel the pressure to speak in front of the large group, but to go into smaller, intimate groups and share on a personal level.
Each day has a schedule that balances structure and freedom, with time for collage, guided writing, reflection, and creative exploration.
So we generally start at a 9:30 a.m. or 10 with the first session. which will go to lunch. And during that time, we will, in addition to creating a collage, we will also, I will start with a meditation generally. We will also have other reflective writing, journaling activities, maybe something involving watercolors or some other modality, movement perhaps, is integrated in, and it's all kind of based around the theme of that session. And then we'll have lunch and maybe some time to explore the grounds of the retreat center where they are. And so there's a time to really think, to just be and not always have lots of information coming at you. And then we'll have an afternoon session where we'll create another collage, and again, differing activities. We typically use scissors and glue, but sometimes I'll say, let's not use the scissors and let's just tear the images and create a card. And that's a different way of working with images because there's nothing between you and the paper. And so it's very mindful. And then we will break for dinner, and then the rest of the evening is theirs to explore and enjoy some of the amenities. And so each day is just a different approach, different collages. And then as we start to develop that deck, I'll have us working with, like if we have 4, by the time we have made 4, we'll work with all of those 4 in a process to see what they have to say. So by the end, you have a dozen collages, a journal full of your own wisdom, and a sense of community and connection that people tend to keep. So I'm on several email groups and text groups where people, even a year later, are continuing to be in contact with one another.
At the end of the retreat, you'll take home practical insights, personal stories, and a deeper understanding of your emotions. Your cards will remind you of what you learned and support you in daily life, offering comfort, inspiration, and tools for continued growth.
So you go home with your deck of cards and your journal. And what I invite people to do is I always kind of check in via email and give them lots of resources, because the cards are not created I created the card, I wrote from it, and now I'm done with it, but they can be revisited. So I'm always giving people ways to continue to revisit their cards. So I would love for you to join me in this process. I know that you will find it to be surprising and unexpected and fruitful, and that it's something that will help you get in touch with your inner wisdom and thrive in your daily life.
If you're interested, click below to ask about the retreat on our listing. Kimberly will answer any questions you have about dates, what's included, and other details. At Retreat Finder, we spotlight unique retreats from all over the world. If you'd like to see more retreats like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And when it's time to return to you, find your next retreat on retreatfinder.com.